Beyond the competitive rush of the crowded city center, creativity flourishes in a place of quiet and tree-shaded harmony. Sculptures, paintings and other artwork seem to be in close rapport with the wooded surroundings. The place is Payapa Art Gallery and Workshop, the inspiration of Elimu Njau. Njau's creativity started in his childhood. In his early 20s, he taught at the Makerere University and the University of Dar es Salaam before making his way to Kenya. In the late 50s, he was commissioned to cover the Fort Hall Murang'a Anglican Church walls with indigenous Christian iconography in the country's central province.
So it was really a way of sharing what our gifts to one another on a personal level, and also a way of also patronizing, buying each other's books, paintings, and promoting local indigenous promotion of the arts through creativity and also buying.
For more than 30 years, Njau has witnessed the growth of the East African art as he struggles to help artists retain their creative souls amid the economic pressure to design for Western markets and aesthetics.
We are very blessed in that we have developed in some areas discipline, culturally, too much of the Western thing has created a hunger for our indigenous culture and the indigenous roots. And Payapa has tried very hard to fill in that gap.
Njau prefers to call Payapa a temple of culture rather than a gallery, viewing it as a setting where artists can reflect on their crafts and find inspiration in their meditation.
We are very blessed, really, but we look too much to the tarmac and manufactured things, But we have to celebrate. We still have to celebrate ourselves. We want people who can draw us.
Having endured decades of neglect, Njau still got the privilege to watch as the local art grow and develop to what it has become today. His advice to artists who would wish to remain relevant and maintain originality is this:
learn to be themselves without apologies. I don't mean arrogant, but to respect their fathers and mothers, where they came from. Respect their roots, you see, without apologies. We copy warped things instead of being ourselves. We need to be ourselves without apologies.
His vision for Payapa is to create a center where residential artists, both local and international, can converge to share their creativity.
If I can transform this land into a center for cultural and spiritual reconciliation, using the artists, doing big sculptures of the prodigal son returning home, the throwing all the seeds, the seeds that fell on the rock, that things. There's so many great stories in the Bible, but they need to be done by artists.
His life is an epitome of a life well lived. The two have been living together since the early 1970s. Vilda first started as a professional photographer and volunteer from the Presbyterian Church. Now she serves as the Payapa Gallery's curator, archivist and tour guide. Having spent an afternoon at the Payapa with Elimu Njau, I realized that art does not exist only to entertain, but also to challenge one to think, to provoke, even to disturb in a constant search for truth. Marete Salvin, GBS News.